Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? I hope everybody's had a good weekend. I know I've lost a lot of sleep this weekend. I'm emotionally exhausted. I still have a lot of fight left to do, but I just thought I would get a word out there, and hopefully y'all will do me a favor and share the hell out of this. Share your own experiences. But I don't remember ever when I was in the workforce, the customer getting penalized for my bad behaviors. My bad behaviors were addressed and I was usually fired for it. Anyway, let's get down to the point. The whole point is my stepsons are coming back from Spokane, Washington, and one of them, it came in on the 7th at 5:45 a.m. Now, we decided to get up on booking.com and book a room. And as I was trying to book the rooms, we knew ahead of time. So I was trying to book the rooms ahead of time because I've done that before, where they have the ones that you can go ahead and reserve without any money or whatever. But when I did that, they would send me an email stating they were going to take $50 to hold. And it's like, I don't have the $50 to hold, so I'll have to wait till I can pay for it. So all those rooms for the 5th and the 6th, I had canceled out. There was no reservation for a 5-6. Oh, and also on that one, the flight was for the 7th. So that meant that we had the dates wrong anyway. So all of those had gotten canceled like they were supposed to. However, they still tried to charge me. I don't know if you can see this very well. Right here, they charged me $95.93. Okay, that was for all the rooms that I canceled out on. I don't know why I got charged. They're saying I didn't cancel on time or something. And so they're going to keep the entire $95.93. So on the 6th, 7th, because I had dealt with it that morning, and it was like, okay, well, I'm sure I'll get the money back once they blah, blah, blah. Well, then on top of that, you see this charge here was for $101.64. Okay, so they took that out for the room that I actually reserved for that night. So we packed up and we got there, and Charlie goes in to check in, and when he does, they tell him he can't stay because it was our daughter that paid for it, because she had to work, so we were going to go and pick him up at 5:45 in the morning. So when we booked the room, she paid for it, and she's done that before. We've never had an issue. And anyway, they say that we couldn't stay there. Well, we had just, New Orleans is like a 35-minute drive from where I live. And anyway, I got on the phone and I begged. When I say I begged, I was pleading and begging. I will show you. There's the two, I don't know if you can see those. The two morning calls are when I saw the $95 one and I spoke to someone. And then at the 8:02 p.m., that was a 20-minute phone call of me begging and pleading with this man to please, let's work something out. Can she come up here? We have all this technology. You can't video chat her. You can't talk to her. No, ma'am, it's against our policy. I said, sir, please don't make us go back to New Orleans. Back to home. We got to pick our son up at 5:45 in the morning. We just came from Gonzales. It's against our policy. I said, well, can I speak to a manager then? And he tells me that there is no manager on the premises. And I said, okay, well, can you call a manager so that I can try and get this, override it, and we can work something out so that we can stay here, pick up my son, and then, deal with this later.
We're survivors.
And he's like, no, ma'am, I cannot. The manager won't be available until Monday. And for 21 minutes, as you've seen, I was begging and pleading and crying to please, let's just figure something out. And they didn't even want to try to. Now, that's $200 they had tied up of money, and it's not like I had more money to go just get another room for the night. So we were literally going to have to go back to Gonzales. So I got out of the car, and of course Charlie was frightened because I am angry at this point. $200 says, something's got to happen. You're supposed to pay and get something for something, not give somebody money just to say, here you go. So anyway, I go into the hotel, and the first thing I do is walk straight to the young man, because there was a woman, so I knew who I was talking to on the phone. And I said, Jess, would you please call the manager? And there's a whole bunch of people in the lobby, okay? And I am loud at this point, because I'm really pissed. Plain and simple, I'm just pissed. So I'm yelling for the manager, and then the lady that was working on the other side, she looks over at me. I said, could you please just call me a manager? And she said that she wasn't gonna call a manager over something so trivial. Okay, so my problem is trivial. And it was like stabbing me with a knife feeling, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just sit over here and keep asking for a manager then. I know I wasn't cussing and I wasn't insulting people. My main focus was just the manager and to get the attention that I needed to get a manager. So anyway, the security guard, rent-a-cop, comes over there to me, and he tells me that I can't be in the lobby. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go sit outside, and I'll open the door every now and then to remind them I'm out here waiting to speak to a manager, so I don't have to go all the way back to Gonzales to come back here for 5:45 in the morning. So anyway, while I'm sitting out there, he comes out into the glass box area you go through. Well, he's in there taking my picture. You know, he's focusing and taking pictures. And all I've done at this point is just ask for a manager. I'm not cussing anybody. I'm not even disrespecting anybody. I was very cooperative when he told me I couldn't be in the lobby, okay? I just wanted to speak to a manager. Well, they couldn't call a manager, but they did call the police. So not one cop, not two cops, but 3 cops show up to talk to me because I wanted a manager. So I asked them when they came up to me, I said, is it against the law to want to speak to a manager now? And they were telling me, no ma'am. Well, I just want y'all to know the tears are from frustration, pissed off, and I just don't look good in orange, okay? So y'all don't think I'm crying for any kind of sympathy, because I don't want it. I'm really mad. Anyway, about that point, here comes Mr. Security Guard, and he slaps both of his hands on his leg like he's going to attention or whatever the fucking thing, at ease. And he says, you are not allowed in the lobby. You are not allowed to sit out here. You're not allowed to open the doors and scream into the building. I said, all I was screaming for was a manager. He says, you weren't saying it like that. I said, no. I was saying, I would like to speak to a manager. I'm sitting out here. I hope you haven't forgotten that I'd like to talk to a manager. I said, and I was saying it very loudly. You're right, that wasn't all I was saying. So he's sneering at me, and he's ugly to me, and he walks in. The cops look at me, and they actually they're sorry. They said, ma'am, we're sorry this is happening. And I showed them what I just showed y'all on the prices they charged, and the fact that I don't have money to go stay at the hotel because it's all tied up. And even if Booking.com does give me a refund, well, it's still not going to go right away. So we had to leave and come back home to go back the next morning to get Clint. Only I didn't go. I hardly slept at all. My nerves like this. I mean, you know, I was prepared for the cops to be called, y'all, because, you know, that's just the way people are today. But then Booking, I contacted them, and I get an email response stating that I'm not getting a refund back. They're going to keep my money because they're saying that I didn't cancel in time. And I'm not quite sure about the 100 and whatever it was that I showed y'all. I'm not sure about that charge because I have to wait till after 10 o'clock this morning to call to speak to a manager on the property of the hotel that this happened on. And I'll let y'all know what they say. But what my problem is I also got a message from Booking.com stating that I wasn't going to get a refund on the $5 one because I was abusive to the staff. So I would like to know where and how I was abusive to a staff when they literally have almost $200 of my money, and it cost me nearly $300 just to get somebody who was like 45 minutes away. It would have been cheaper to get an Uber. It really would have been. So, like I said, y'all don't feel sorry for me with crying. I'm not hurt. I am so angry because I'm so sick and tired of doing the right thing. And then people can just take your money. They can just take it, and there's nothing you can do about it. And they feel entitled to $200 for calling the cops on someone that wanted nothing more than a manager. They were not willing to try and work with me in any way to let us stay there. The room was already paid for. It was not like I was asking for anything for free. I was just, you know, y'all made a mistake on my charge. Y'all charged me the $95, and you know, when I talked to y'all this morning, I'm figuring it's going to get resolved the right way because hello. But no, they not only charged us and we had to spend more money than necessary. I mean, in all honesty, y'all, that's like, you know, that's a week's worth of groceries for today. So it's not like I have money to throw around. It's not like, you know, we go and stay at hotels all the time. This was just because the flight was so early and we didn't want nothing to happen and we couldn't get there on time. So we were just trying to make it convenient for everybody, and instead that's what we got faced with. So I just want y'all to know that I'm going to be calling them. They don't get in till after 10. So I'll make another video of my response, but I would certainly like for everyone to either share your experiences with the Clarion chain, who is owned by Choice Motels, but I am really getting tired of paying for the stupidity of the employees. I don't see where I was abusive. I was abused. I mean, come on. They have a security guard who is supposed to be trained in de-escalating things, escalating things and taking pictures of me, mocking me while doing so because he's laughing into the lobby and saying things to the people that are in the lobby while he's focused in his camera and taking pictures of me. And you got somebody saying that $200, and who gives a shit that you know, have to go back to Gonzales, Louisiana, where you just came from, and paid for a room that we could easily find a way to work around. But no, we're not even going to try to. So your problem is trivial. When am I allowed to be upset? When am I allowed to have enough? And I certainly don't see where asking for a manager is abusive. I was beyond mortified at the way I was treated, and even though I knew I had done nothing wrong to be arrested, you still don't know. I mean, and on top of that, it was 3 fucking cops that show up for me just asking for a manager, and then they can't call a manager but can call the cops, and then they can make the call to just kick people off the property when $200 said that I had every right to be there. So yeah, I would love for y'all to share your experiences. I would love for this to get shared. I'm hoping that, you know, some people get mortified, and even if it's just 5 or 6 people that just don't go to the Clarion or pull a reservation or whatever, at least they lost some money, and it makes me feel a little bit better. Because it's like $200 and I don't have a room that I stayed in, and I have nothing to show for it. And it's like, I live in a 1999 mobile home. I drive a 2004 Nissan Altima. You know, I'm on Medicaid. Come on, or Medicare, what the fuck ever, health insurance, because I gotta have insurance to take my immunotherapy every 3 weeks. And then you gotta deal with people literally stealing your money. And we're not talking about $5, $10. No, we're talking about they are legally able to hold $200 and tell you whether you can have it. And then they make a determination you can't have it because you were abusive with their staff who called the cops on you for asking for a manager. So my next video is probably going to be Severious Meltdown because I'm fairly sure that this manager is not going to do any differently than anyone else I've spoken to this weekend, and I'm at my wit's end. I just, you know, I cannot just afford to throw money out there. It's unbelievable that they're able to do this to people. But I can give the name of the chain. It's the Clarion. They're owned by Choice Motels. So it's the Clarion that treated me so badly. I'm still in shock and awe of what happened. So y'all please, if y'all have experiences yourself with this kind of stuff and the customer gets penalized instead of the employee now, share it, because I think we're at a point that they're able to treat us however they want, and we're just supposed to accept it and just keep on moving like, okay, well, so you got $200 to do absolutely nothing but be a fucking cunt. Anyway, that'll probably last, but I am mad and I really don't give a shit who I offend right now because no one's been thinking about my feelings lately. So why am I supposed to think about anybody else's feelings in this situation? I paid $200 to have 3 cops escort me off the property that I was just asking the manager for. So yeah, I'm a little pissed off. So I hope everyone else has had a better weekend than I have. I will post an update on what happened this morning after I talked to a manager. So y'all have a blessed day and just pray for me and help me find the peace that I need to find within myself right now because I'm feeling a little beat down. So y'all have a blessed day. I do love y'all. And again, the tears are not from being hurt. The tears are just pure anger. I am truly just angry. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.